All right, well, greetings and salutations to everybody out there in YouTube land. I'm your host once again, Dan Thornton. I want to make sure the mic is on, but hey, we got some breaking news not only moments ago. Emmanuel Mosley is going to return to the Detroit Lions. I know for a lot of you guys who watch Lions Talk Live, you've seen the update we offered a few days ago regarding this. We had the speculation, about 2 days ago that from people I knew within the Detroit media, and some other sources, we talked about Mosley and Owuzie being the targets for the Detroit Lions front office for the cornerback position. Owuzie, obviously, we're going to have to wait on him until we actually get to free agency. If you're not aware of who he is, he plays for the Cincinnati Bengals. He's played with, I want to say it was the Dallas Cowboys prior. Most Lions fans, even casual observers, I'm going to anticipate know who Emmanuel Mosley is. Emmanuel Mosley came to the Detroit Lions from the San Francisco 49ers, had an ACL injury during his last season with the 49ers, and then unfortunately when he finally recovered, was able to get on the field for Detroit this past season, made it, I think it was 2 or 3 plays literally before the opposite ACL blew out. But I'm going to say this, I know we got the news, and I do want to give credit to my friends within the Detroit Lions, the Detroit media. I always mess that one up, who tipped me off to this a couple days ago. And you know what? The first domino has fallen. It's, to me, it was a no-brainer deal. I know a lot of us on Lions Talk Live and the Do crew have been talking about this for some time, that Mosley seemed to be a pretty good target for resigning, especially since it would be a modest contract. Full details aren't released just yet, but what we do know, and this is via Adam Scheffler of ESPN, it's basically a 1-year prove-it deal. Everybody gets it. He's got to stay healthy. The kid's got to stay out there. We'll get probably full disclosure of the signings in the next week or so, but Mosley's representation, I'm sure, working on his behalf, trying to secure a deal just so he can go somewhere and potentially play. Detroit seems like an ideal fit for Mosley because the competition level isn't going to be the highest there. There's a real opportunity, if he believes in himself, to get healthy, get right, and reestablish his career. After this 1-year pseudo rental with Mosley, if he stays healthy and performs as he's anticipating he's going to perform, then yeah, he's going to be able to play himself into a bigger contract. My guess, and that's all it is at this point, it's probably somewhere around $3 million a season. Probably loaded with some incentives, performance-based incentives, etc. All right, let's see what you guys have to say about it all. Jason Sweet, yes, a dude sweet. There's a dude, where's my car reference? Jason Superdome or bust 1,000%. Trump, woo! There you go. Mr. Nico, I'm glad we're spending our money wisely. Yeah, 100% there. I know we talked about potential options for the Lions this offseason, but as we talked about in the morning show today, most fans, I'm thinking, probably understand Brad Holmes is not really inclined to spend big money. I know there's some speculations going around about, Ladarius Sneed getting traded to Detroit now that he's been franchised. Maybe it ends up being something. I don't know. I've got zero inside information about that. I know I've reported a month and a half ago, whenever it was, that he was somebody the Lions were interested in. But I think that was more so if he was just a straight free agent. Asking Brad Holmes to give up draft picks is like asking me to give up my Mountain Dew. Probably not going to happen, man. Probably not. So we'll see what happens there. But this is a good, in my opinion, first step for the Detroit Lions. And again, give kudos to some of my friends in the Detroit-based media because they tipped me off to this, whatever it was, Sunday night or whenever it was. So kudos to them. All right, Mike and Mike Marine. Howdy, Dan. Howdy, Mike. How you doing? Dennis. Nice. I give a B. Yeah, I give a B average. And yeah, I want to give you thanks for also alerting me to this story. I know I got the pop up on my phone and I tried to race to get on the mic as fast as I could. Dennis, giving you a shout out right here now. Robert, what's new, Daniel? Apparently the Lions have at least one more body to throw at other teams in the secondary. And, Mosley, I think he's exactly what the Lions want in a corner and what he needs. Now we'll see what they do from here going forward into free agency. And again, we're about, I want to say 8 days away from free agency. Don't make me do the math in my head. Maybe it's 7. All right, Doug, good move. Why not? Brad knew the man, not just, of him. Yeah, not the condition of him, 100%. So as Holmes and Dan Campbell have talked about this offseason, trying to give more insight to fans and media members or whoever else is listening to how they run their franchise. They like drafting people and keeping them in house because they know who those people are. You always, as Holmes pointed out, you're always taking a bit of a gamble when you sign somebody or trade for somebody because you think you know them, but you haven't been around them. You don't know. The opposite of that with Mosley is they do know him. He's been here for a year. They know exactly what he's about, and they know what he's going to put into helping this team. One Funky Mosley coming back makes complete sense for this regime. 1,000%. Yeah, I agree with you 100% there, One Funky. Jason, I'm spending my money wisely in Cancun at the moment. Go Lions, 1,000%. Hope you're having a good time out there, Jason. You know what? Maybe even bring some money back with you. Tree 3, good afternoon all. The mic is on. All right, that's probably a big plus because I know I mess that up sometimes. One Funky, on a good note, he doesn't have any more ACLs to blow out. Let's hope not, because you know what? Yeah, as Tree 3 is saying, he's 2 for 2 on him. All right, Doug, get a drafted quarterback somewhere in draft, and after a year, we'll see. Yeah, I'm going to guess they're going to target some people in the draft and try to groom them up. But the more they can try to alleviate some of the, I guess you could say, holes in the roster with free agency, then the plan for Brad Holmes seems to always be best player available. This holds up with that because the more you can round out the team, now wherever you're at in the draft, you want to trade up, down, back, whatever, left, right, or just stay pat and take the best guy on the board, you've got that kind of luxury. Brother Ken, all your doubters and skeptics, leave Brad Holmes alone. He knows what he's doing, 100%. And he should have enough, quote-unquote, street cred at this point where whatever he chooses to do, we should, as a fan base and media or whatever, look at it and say, you know what? We might not understand it, but it's probably going to work out because, again, in his defense, he's made it all work in his time here in Detroit. Coop, what do you got? It makes sense because this is what Brad Holmes does. That's it. Yeah, I agree. Tony, praying that he recovers from them injuries. Mosley would be a great addition to the Lions. Let's get to it. Yeah, and the good part is when he blew out, I guess if you're going to say there's a good part for somebody blowing out their ACL, it was fairly early in the season, so he should be pretty far along in his recovery process. When he's going to be fully available to the team, man, we'll wait a while on that one. Dr. Troy, oh boy, there you go. Trump, big dollar signings usually never work out. There's probably a lot of truth to that as well. David, they re-signed tight end Zane Zylstra to a new contract. They did that, I want to say it was last night. We talked about that a little bit in the morning show, but yeah, 100%. They did bring him back. All right, Dr. Troy, really, Ramsey didn't work out for Rams. He did. He was part of that, skip the picks, go get the players now, move. And you know what? They did get the ring for it, so give them credit for that. Trump's usually. All right, Dr. Detroit, I kind of agree, but we have two massive holes that the draft isn't fixing. There could be, free agency's a week or so away, so we'll see what the team does from here. Dave signed a wide receiver Traquan Smith to a futures contract for 2024. Yeah. And I know we talked about it in the last mock draft that the Lions might potentially make a move in the middle rounds for a wide receiver. But if they get something here with Smith, maybe that kind of alleviates that need or desire a little bit. Trump's asked Cleveland. Oh, there you go. Shots fired. Doug, plus one of the top free agent cornerbacks. Yes, if they do that, then yes, the secondary is going to look pretty decent, I'm thinking. Lions for life, a waste of money. Could be, just an educated guess. But again, they know what they have with Mosley, and I think that's the compelling factor. If we trust these coaches and front office to identify talent, and we're saying, man, they constantly kill it in the draft. They've done pretty well with free agent signings. I'm not going to say they've done over the top great, but they know this guy. They don't know some other guys as well. So give them some credit. They felt it was the right direction. Coop, is Mosley going to miss the start of the season again like last year? Question mark. I guess so. It's a great question and just one I can't answer. I want to say that he got injured in the 5th game of the year. So he's been out on the sidelines for 5 months. In my time coaching, the fastest I've seen an athlete return is 4 months. And that kid worked their butt off. And no joke, they couldn't, we had to be limited with them, but could play, get on the field, just had to be very specific what they do. Is it possible somebody can be back in 7-8 months? 100%. Are they going to be 1,000% recovered? Probably not, but I'm going to leave that to better medical staff than myself to ascertain that answer. Now, Detroit, we should have known Mosley was for sure a thing 2 blown ACLs, guaranteed Brad Holmes free agent. Yeah, I'm guessing he was salivating at the idea I can get something that I view as being valuable here for a contract down here. So you're probably right, Dr. D. All right. Fred, I'm late to the show. For how much that hasn't been revealed yet, Fred. All I can tell you is it's a 1-year contract. I'm anticipating in the neighborhood of $3 million, but don't hold me to that because it's all it is on my part is a guess at this point. He's another depth piece that we need. Yeah, and that's, if nothing else, that's where I think he's at with things. You've got a good sized corner, a lot of starting experience, good man press corner with some good upper body strength as well. Watch, if you go watch some video on him, he's got real good range to recover as far as making plays on the ball. So probably something that wasn't lost on Aaron Glenn and the Detroit Lions. Hookadoo, good afternoon, Coach and Duke Crew. I think I just walked into the update. Well, welcome into it. And yeah, Emmanuel Mosley is back with the Detroit Lions. Big Daz, what do you got? How do I get with the Duke Crew? Every morning, man, 7 to 8 a.m. every day of the week. And then we are going to try to set something up for a tailgate, maybe at the start of next year, have everybody get together. I know a couple of the more musically inclined members of the Duke Crew have said they might be willing to come out and perform there, so we'll have a good time. All right, Tree, what do you got? Trump's a genius, LOL. All right, fair enough. Doug, the difference with Mosley as opposed to JMO, the guy knows what it takes to cover top receivers. There you go. I'll go with that. Let's see. Troy, this kid can play and is very fast. 49ers were lost when they let him go. I'd agree with that. Their secondary changed exponentially. Keep the man healthy, and he can be a big addition. I think you're spot on with that. All right, Doug, not starting from scratch, that is. Okay, well, I agree. Coop, LOL. All right. Southwest Line, if the price is right, why not? Question mark. They still need to get a number 1 corner through free agency or the draft. And you know what? Hey, now the depth's a little bit better. Play this out real quick. Let's assume in the draft or free agency next week that they're going to still target somebody to be their quote unquote number 1 corner. So now you got that individual, and maybe it's Ozwaka. Man, I cannot pronounce his name at times. The corner from Cincinnati. Maybe it's I know we talked about was it Lattimore? Maybe it's Snead, but whoever it is, you get that guy. And now Sutton's your number 2. Branch is your slot / number 3. Now you add Emmanuel Mosley as your 4. Maybe you resign Jerry Jacobs as your 5. I mean, that's a pretty legit secondary. I'm not going to say it's the best of all time. It's not the Legion of Boom or whatever, but that's a pretty sound secondary. Fred, I'm good with $3 million. I called that as well. Few teams are going to want him. I will take him. Dude's a baller when healthy. If he can get 50% of what he was able to before, I'll take it. I'll go with that, man. Troy, I heard Jerry Jacobs posted goodbye to the Lions on his Twitter. Is there truth to that? I haven't checked to see, so I can't really say one way or the other. I don't want to tell you one thing and end up being wrong. Burger time. I like this as long as he's healthy, 100%. Ozwike. Yeah, I always kill his name, man. I start off I'm not gonna lie. I watch a video how to say his name before I go on air, and then halfway through the show, I forget how to say it. So, it is what it is. All right, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. Get ready for some coaching responsibilities today. Hey, if there's some other Lions-related breaking news today, I'll try to get on the horn to you guys as quick as possible. If not, I'll see you all in the morning on the next Lions Talk Live. See you guys.